Elden Ring is kinda hard, and I made it harder for some reason.
3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Are that 1, the only weapon that I can use is the club, 2, no incantations or spells are allowed, and 3, no summoning other players for help, because that's cheating. And also, I go online specifically to avoid human interaction, so hell no. So I started off as a wretch for some of that sweet club action. Now, I could have started off in a better class and just simply bought a club later, but there's a very specific reason I didn't do that. And it's because I'm just stupid and didn't think of it. I got quick clapped by a random clump of limbs and I was off to the races, meaning I ran straight to Margit the Fell Omen, and oh man, you can guess how this played out. Oh right, and I think we can end the clip there. You don't really need to see the rest. It was boring, trust me. You want to see me die, don't you? Yeah, okay. Look, I'll even put it in slow-mo so you could really savor every second of the pain. Just wait, it's coming. Psych. Should have saw the look on your face. You were so happy. I don't think you understand. I'm in control here. So after seeing that this clearly wouldn't work, especially against later bosses, I decided that I needed to prepare, and prepare I did. I just followed a guide which led me to upgrading my club to +9 and also to finding 9 flasks. But that's all non-important. What mattered was this guy. I made a rival. Okay, so how do I say this without sounding insane? I wanted to murder this man and take his clothes. Ow. No, yeah, that sounded pretty insane. Unfortunately, there was one little road bump in my plan, and you might have guessed it. He's a knight in full-on armor, and I'm a homeless man who smells like donkey piss. So after 20 minutes of getting my butt handed to me on a silver platter, I knew that I had to train to become stronger. Cue the training montage. Oops, sorry, just give me a second, forgot to reapply this, and yep. So, yeah, it turns out that the quickest way to level up in this game is to just hit this dragon in its butt a bunch of times until it keels over. So that's what I did. For 10 minutes. Yeah, I did that for 10 minutes. 10 full minutes of bashing this bountiful booty with bleed damage. I applied blood damage to make it go a little easier. Now, with 100,000 runes to my name, I put all of my points into vitality, endurance, and strength. Finally, I put 0 points into mind because I wanted my character to be relatable to my viewers. So with that finally done, I went back and continued the White Knight fight, and surprisingly, I got it first try. Ignore that. I finally finished them off, and ta-da! I'm no longer on a watch list for public indecency anymore. Now, just like that, I was finally ready for the first boss, and it only took me 3 hours to get everything I needed. Yes, it took me 3 hours. Anyways, I hopped into the boss nearly peeing my newly acquired pants because I was scared. The toughest enemies I had fought before was an already half-dead senile dragon and just a random guy I found on the street. Now you're telling me I have to fight this? He's a monster. It looks like his dad got a little too comfy with a goat. But I steeled my nerves, and surprisingly, it wasn't completely horrible. I was doing some pretty decent damage. Plus, the armor I borrowed was also really good at soaking up hits. But really, it all came down to skill, because I had mastered this guy's moveset. I think you get the idea. I beat it first try without any summons, and then I basically did the same thing with Godrick. Oh, first try! Too good! Bro, I actually thought I was gonna have to use summons there. Ooh! Why are you talking? Just shut up, you're supposed to be dead. Dead people don't talk. Unfortunately, the worst has yet to come, because next, I had to go through, university. Needless to say, this was a pretty normal day at school. I ran past basically everyone, avoiding eye contact at all times, and tried to avoid the creepy men trying to hug me. Nevertheless, I then went on to Rennala, smacked around a couple of kids, and that was the first stage done. Now she put on her full power, controlling the moon, summoning dragons and giants, but yeah, it wasn't really a match for me and my twig. I beat it first try again. At this point, after defeating the kings and queens of the area, I was feeling pretty unstoppable. And then I was promptly stopped. Oh boy, the draconic tree sentinel. This just wasn't fair. I mean, this guy has a horse that can breathe fire. You wanna know what my horse can do? I mean, it has horns, so that's kinda cool. I mean, it also like dies after every 2 centimeter drop, so that's kinda less cool. This fight took me 30 minutes, but it turns out that the key to this fight was just getting good, and also summoning soldiers to fight for you, but mostly just getting good. Pretty much every boss from here on out started to become a massive hurdle. I then stumbled around this city, and let's just say that locals haven't been this hostile towards me since that time I visited New York. But eventually I came across the next boss, Godfrey, or the Ghost of Godfrey or something, I don't know. I gave up trying to understand this game's lore before I even bought it. My strategy here was to stay as close as possible to good old Godfrey because 1, the range on my club is shorter than, well, you, yes I'm calling you out, and 2, most of his attacks are so large that they fly right over my head. Except that stupid stomp attack that he keeps on killing me with. I would summon in 2 Godrick soldiers as they were, well, not that good for anything besides human sacrifices. My real best friend here, or really for the entire run, was jumping heavy attacks, as they were the easiest way for me to get some stagger and damage in. Finally, after 40 minutes of trying this over and over, I was finally able to get it done. At this point, I was pretty drained, but at least it's finally over, and I would never have to fight that stupid crap ever again. This is my very subtle attempt at foreshadowing my future pain. At least it's a fair fight. We'll be fighting each other with wood.
Pillagers.
We're both gonna be smacking each other with just... No, what are you doing with your club? No, what did I just say? This game keeps on teaching me new definitions of pain, because no matter how hard I tried, things just didn't work here. So naturally, I sat down for a quick second, reassessed my strategy, while also learning all the new moves. Yeah, right. Oh, imagine actually getting good at the game. No, it was time for grinding. I first went to get more sacred tears, and I'm only realizing now that I'm collecting tears. You know, like the bodily fluid. Am I the only one who finds that slightly weird? Well, people have drunk weirder things before. I also wanted to get the Erd Tree Talisman, which boosts my stamina and health, but unfortunately, it was guarded by the big lump of limbs that killed me in the beginning. So, it was time to get some payback. This is there's 2 of you? Yeah, I died, but I got it eventually. Regardless, this still wasn't enough, because I realized that my summons were trash. Sorry guys, I know you sacrificed yourselves for me and stuff, but it's the truth. So I set out on a quest to find a mimic, a summon that can basically copy my exact build. So yeah, it was time to start a 3-hour quest line for 1 item. Yay! The first step in this master plan was to kill Radahn, basically the god of war, and I had to do it with a stick. I don't know why I thought this was a good idea. Radahn, besides being an insane cannibal, is a pretty cool guy, and this fight was fun. I even got some friends to fight with. One of them was a pot with an English accent. No, that isn't the 5 allergy pills I took before recording talking. I'm being serious. That's actually in the game.
Come on. Give me a good from behind with something nice and big.
Anyways, we summoned some friends, and it's just a jolly old time. Just me and the boys committing some murder. After 1 or 2 attempts of doing nothing and watching the fight from a distance, they finally killed him off. I mean, we, as a group, finally killed him off. Yeah, I helped. For the final blow, which still counts, I considered killing my pot friend as he would drop some valuable loot, but then, oh, I don't know. Just look at him. Look into those eyes. How could you ever murder a face like that? Anyways, next on my quest for the mimic was a mimic fight, and I found a way to cheese it. Wait, I want to see something. What if I take off all my clothes and then start the boss fight? Is my mimic also gonna be naked? He's naked now! Try to fight me. Aww, oh no, he's gonna hurt me. Bro, we died to a naked man, I swear. Nice, I just killed myself. Awesome. I always wanted to do that. After that, I finally got my hands on the mimic tier, but I still hadn't fully upgraded it, so I needed to do more grinding, which just meant that I ran around for 30 minutes like an idiot trying to find the entrance to a cave. It turned out that it was in front of me the entire time. No way, it was there the entire time? I was looking for straight up like 30 minutes for a catacomb I needed to go to, and it was right under my fat nose. Now, with a level 6 mimic, I hopped in, enlisted a 12-year-old half-blind girl to fight with me, and we finally finished it off. Oh, no, please, 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 is this enough? He's so close, he's so close. Yes! Finally, club only. Stay dead, don't come back. Bro, is this really who I was fighting? Look at you, you're just a skeleton. This is who killed me multiple times? And I can talk to him. He's not dead still. He's not dead. He's gonna come back with the 4th stage. After celebrating, I found this hat. This isn't important, like, to the story or anything. Or even to gameplay. I just thought the hat looked cool. Wanting to level up more, I realized that it was time, again, for even more grinding. Luckily, I had found a highly advanced strategy, which was just... yeah. And I did this for... longer than I'd like to admit, especially considering I did it all on a Friday night. But hey, I upgraded my make-believe club in this pixel game to plus 19, so it was definitely worth it. Feeling upset, I then took my self-deprecating anger out on a random dragon for fun. I mean, therapy is expensive, but taking your anger out on those around you? Hey, that's free. I then went to a dilapidated church where I found a samurai. I know this sounds like a start of a crappy joke, but it's serious. We dueled, fought, and he killed me. Like, a lot. We had this, you know, kind of cool thing going on. And then I murdered him. Yes! Oh my god, suck it, dude. I can't even use... I can wear his head. Oh my... It's all worth it. I can wear this... I am actually insane. I just put on his head as a face mask. Bro, what? But alas, now on to the fire giant. And you guessed it, he was a giant pain in my ass. Yep, this guy was tough. He could gently gaze in my direction, and my frail body would be pushing up daisies before I could get a hit in. Oh, but when I could swing my bat, I barely did any damage. It's like I was tickling the big guy with my wood. Actually, can I retake that line? It didn't come out right. I was seriously stuck. And trust me, I was using every advantage I had. The talisman that upgraded charged attacks, the horseback talisman, and also my physic also upgraded charged attacks, leading to a pretty decent amount of damage. This still took me 2 hours though, because the guy could kill me by slightly rolling over. Alas, I finally did it, and I cannot describe to you how good I felt. I haven't felt a high like that since, well, since never, in case any cops are watching. Yes! Oh my... Die! Yes! Oh my, how long was I on that? My hands are so sweaty, you probably can't see it on camera. Oh my heart is beating so fast. Imagine if I fail the parkour now. I fail climbing up this bridge. I need to calm my heart rate. I actually almost died. I just did die. I'm not joking here. I died several times, and it wasn't because I just gave up on life. No, it was just me being clumsy as hell. Now, to progress, our maiden had to sacrifice herself in order to purge the big tree. I think. Honestly, it's like they speak a whole different language in this game. None of it makes any sense. Oh my, where are we? I know where we are. Florida. I've heard legends about this place. Now, with the crumbling castle in the sky, I ran as fast as I could because everything, and I mean everything, wanted to kill me, including gravity. Yeah, I wasn't that good at parkour. Eventually, I came across this weird flabby pair called the Godskin duo. They seemed near impossible, but that's fine. They were optional anyways. Or so I thought. It turns out that this is actually a mandatory boss fight, and it's also the worst thing that God has allowed to happen on this green earth. Are they dead? Bro, how are you back? How are you back? No, I'm sorry, but this is just no. I knew that I was nowhere near ready, so I just needed to do a teensy weensy bit more upgrading. Yeah, it's a long story. I first went on my way to upgrade my club, but unfortunately, all the materials needed for it were in an area guarded by douche nozzle commander Niall here. I was gonna make fun of him, but his name is Niall. Enough said. This again was horrible. I went from suffering against 2 enemies to 3. Yay me. Luckily, it all got a lot easier once I found a talisman that increased my electricity resistance. And, you know, I actually got somewhat good at the fight. Yeah, very surprising. Now, after narrowly defeating the notorious Niall, I found all the stones I needed to upgrade inside this mineshaft. That is, except for the ancient dragon smithing stone. This last piece of the upgrade was guarded by Astel, Stars of Darkness, a horrifying creature that I can't really describe without going into a full-blown panic attack. Okay. That's not what I expected to be here. So after 30 minutes of dying over and over with my mimic buddy, I finally realized that there was another ancient dragon smithing stone just like lying on the floor nearby. So I just picked that one up instead. Grinding done, I finally hopped back into the fight and I was still dying. Yeah, it turns out that you could imbue a club with all the magical dragon powers in the world, but it's still a club. It's a piece of driftwood, and I have to kill God with it. Honestly, this sucked. Now that my club was max level and my mimic tier was also max level, all the grinding was done, and I had nothing to blame for my losses but myself. So I went back to trying it over and over for 2 hours. God damn it, look how close I was! At a certain point, I tried cheesing out the boss by doing some weird parkour and avoiding the fight entirely, but I quickly left that train of thought because I'm a man, a boy of integrity, and also I just couldn't pull off the skip. It was like really tricky and precise. Finally though, I got this run. My mimic and I first targeted the tall, skinny piece of crap, and with both of us working together, we made quick work of them. Then it was on to taking out this large, lumpy lard boy before he could summon his friend back. I wailed on this boss over and over, and we got some good damage in. It wasn't enough though, and it was a 2v2 again. Luckily, I had a plan. Let the mimic take all the hits. With their attention now turned, I squeezed in a few more attacks on the big guy, and bam, he's gone. For now, my mimic and I tag teamed the tall one for the second time, but just as they were about to die, they started to explode, which would have been death. But luckily, the stars aligned, and I got one last hit in, saving both me and my mimic's life. Next up is the big man himself for a second serving, because of course, look at him. But seriously, I was getting worried. My mimic was near death, and so was I. Mentally, the big guy then tried summoning his friend in again for some help, but at that point, it was too late. Please tell me it's over. Yes! I'm not even joking. I rewatch that clip from time to time just to get a small idea of how good that finally felt. But before there's any time to celebrate, here comes Maliketh to come crap in my Cheerios. Honestly, this guy wasn't too bad. All I needed to do was some light preparing. So I killed an ancient dragon insect demon that could near one-shot me. Yeah, okay, I kinda went overboard with the preparing again. I finally finished off Ranni's questline just so that I could get the Black Knife Summon. They are a super deadly assassin and they would definitely help me for this fight. The only problem is that, like I said, they're super deadly. Finally though, I pulled my strengths together and finally worked out a strategy. Now, with the Black Knife Summon rightfully earned, this guy completely carried me through Maliketh. Maliketh? I keep on mixing up their... Whatever, it's a space dog demon, it doesn't matter. Anyways, my role here was important. I mean, somebody had to do all the cheerleading. Yes, bro! My summon did all the work, but I don't care, I beat it! Oh, get clapped! We just fought 2 god apostles at the same time and a werewolf blood assassin. What's next? My bet's on a talking chimp with an AK. Well, no, it's actually just Gideon. Needless to say, Gideon here wasn't much of a threat. Next up on the chopping block is Godfrey, and you'd think that hugging the axe-wielding psycho would be a bad idea, and normally it is, but in this case it's surprisingly effective. By staying so close, all of his attacks fly right over my head. See, I'm not short, I'm just the perfect fighting height. I'm not in denial, you're short. I mean in denial. With the first phase done, Godfrey becomes one with his inner lion, he takes off his shirt and tries to non-consensually grab me. Wait, did I read that right? Needless to say, I didn't last very long. Before I could blink, I was being dunked like a basketball. Which makes sense considering my illustrious circular figure. The key to this fight was just playing keep away and letting my mimic take all the attention. Go in for one heavy jumping attack, run out, and you're golden. Things were going pretty well in this run. Godfrey was super low, but just as I was about to seal the deal, I got caught up in one of his super deadly combos. Yes, bro! Yeah. My mimic actually saved me. Maybe I was wrong about you, buddy. I apologize for constantly putting you in harm's way, and also sometimes purposefully sacrificing you in order to succeed. But it's over now. You don't have to worry about that anymore. Oh, there's another boss. Well, one more wouldn't hurt, right? My real strategy here was to get this, not get hit. I don't know. I don't always have some super elaborate strategy on how to win. I go bonk with the club. I'm a glorified caveman. You know what? It's montage time. Did it die? Yes! Ah! Get clapped! Finally! Oh! Too good, too good. Club only run. And that was it. The space seal was finally dead and I could relax. This run took me 25 hours in case you were wondering, and I'm being serious. I completed this run the week of my SATs. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed.